They scored that early touchdown like you had in the highlights. All the purple in here was going wild. The Bama fans were suddenly shocked, but then the tide turned, no pun intended. Yeah, guys, last year I got to interview Bruce Irvin. He was blown away by all the festivities here in Spokane. I was blown away that both my legs combined were about half the size of his arm, but he was small compared to the two fellas I got to hang out with today. Welcome into Qualcomm Stadium as the lights go out. Luckily, we brought our light to stay lit here. This is going to be an interesting sportscast. Coach, from one Bay Area guy to a new Bay Area guy, the most important person on your staff might be your real estate agent. Have you looked at the housing prices in the Bay Area? Casey, that's one way to put it. Normally in these on-camera intros, I try and come up with, something decently clever or informative, but tonight, I got nothing. There was a football game. I guess you could call it that. It was played in the Phoenix area, and it went entirely too long.
Got to get you engaged.
Yes. Plenty of people will be engaged in a different way on Sunday.
You can come up with a segue with anything we throw your way.
You guys give me material. I just try and make it work. Of course, we're not talking about weddings. We're talking about being glued to the television screen. Yeah. But this might be the best event they have out here. It is Star Wars night. Lots of fans out in full force. I think the parents of the kids might be a little more excited than the kids themselves. I heard you say old guys in the open. I don't think my guy Dan Dickow wants to be categorized as old. First question, Winston Brooks said, police officer in town, he's got cuffs for you tonight. What do you got to say about that? I'll say this.
BYU Cougars, baby.
There was a video after that game in Las Vegas, and they're going through the handshake line. And you can hear Collinsworth go up to a few guys. I think he went up to Perkins and said, hey, you're going to be great. Keep shooting it. Keep improving. Went up to Wiltshire. They talked. They embraced. And then we heard Wiltshire on the podium after that game saying they were BYU guys. He'd miss a free throw, and they'd be like, it's all right, Kyle. You'll get the next one.
On the grounds that I may get a public reprimand or get fined.
Marshawn Lynch's famous phrase, so 2015. Mike Leach doing his best beast mode impersonation Saturday night after the handshake heard around the college football world. Well, if you're me, you wear two coats. If you're Keith, you wear a white T-shirt and a polo shirt. Nadine, over at Seahawks headquarters, you won't find any water in the water coolers. Just nanobubbles, and Russell Wilson has been chugging. Grace, if you have the ability to play Division I sports, you're already an insane athlete. But if you can play two, that's just next level. Today, I met up with a former Hooper who left Spokane for Seattle to chase his football dreams. From the east side to the west side.
He's a freak.
The guy known for his ups has made quite the jump.
I just felt like I had some unfinished business with football. Former
Zag Connor Griffin has exchanged his shoes for cleats, leaving Gonzaga after 2 seasons to give it a go on the gridiron.
Yeah, I remember my first weeks of practice, I had a bubble screen, and JoJo McIntosh, one of our strong safeties, came down and just lit me up, and I was like, yep, I'm back in it.
What a journey it's been, facing Duke in the Elite Eight and now Alabama in the college football playoff.
I never thought I'd be able to play either one of these teams, so it's kind of cool to kind of mark that off my checklist and be able to say I did both those things. And I don't know, not many people, I don't think anyone gets to say that actually, so it's pretty cool.
Connor notes the toughest part, leaving behind his family at GU, but they are some of his biggest fans.
We're still real close with him. We followed all the games, and when he got in there, obviously we were happy. That's our favorite time of the game to watch.
When you see what Meach was able to do, start at point guard here, and then now he's in the NFL as a defensive back. I mean, I definitely think Connor could pull that off.
And the support goes both ways.
They're looking really good, and it's going to be crazy when it gets to tournament time. I think they're going to be going pretty far this year.
So great to catch up with Connor and see that he's doing so well. He always put on such a great show at Craziness in the Kennel, hoping he and the Dogs can put on another great show on Saturday against the top team in the country. Coming up a little bit later in sports, we'll take you inside Media Days. The Dogs and the Tide talking with the media for the final time before the big game coming up on Saturday. We cannot wait for the Huskies and the Crimson Tide. Covering Washington, here in Atlanta at the College Football Playoff, I'm Will Sherratt, KXLY4 Sports.
Control the boards, control the game. Control the boards, control the game.
It's just minutes before the biggest tilt of the year. Northwest Christian, a win away from a berth in the state tournament.
Let's get 40 tonight. Let's get 40 rebounds.
The game plan, attack the glass.
Every single time that ball goes up on the rim, you've got to fight.
Rebounds and fights. might be the directive for the contest, but it's been one Crusaders game plan for the last few weeks.
He'd look at us from the bench and kind of go, oh, like double vision and pressure in the head.
Early into Northwest Christian's postseason run, Micah Henry wasn't quite feeling himself.
When I would get the ball passed to me, I couldn't tell which one was the ball, so it kind of would hit me or go out of bounds.
The persistent headaches and double vision eventually led to a trip to the doctor's office.
I'm thinking inner ear infection. That's not what the doctor thought. He said right away, we're going to go to the ophthalmologist, get an MRI, and I'm like, wait.
Then just 30 minutes after the scan, a phone call that turned Micah's life upside down.
I just heard my mom break down in tears, so I knew what it was.
A brain tumor in Micah's pineal gland.
The first thing I did was cry.
It's the feeling of utter helplessness. You've got a 17-year-old who's perfectly fine except for a little bit of dizziness and double vision, and then to get the news of you've got a brain tumor. So it's a shock.
Hours later, the Henrys were bound for Seattle, Harborview Medical Center, where Micah underwent immediate surgery.
You just don't know. He's talking about going over the brain, or near the brain cell, and going over the optic nerve, and you're thinking, oh, goodness.
The results, as positive as possible, revealing a benign germ cell tumor.
It was just a relief to finally know, and then it's like, okay, now, a medical team can develop, what's the best path forward.
But it isn't just the team of doctors behind Micah. It's also his teammates who have gone to great lengths to show their support.
Different guys have said, I want to try to make an impact in this situation and make him feel special and to make this a part of our team and community where we can lift each other up.
Micah Strong t-shirts and MH21 ink on full display at every Crusader game.
It's like you look back and you're like, wow, this is really cool that they would do such a thing for me. Let's go, come on.
I was blown away. They were sending pictures of the team with the MH21 on there, and I just was crying. It's like, oh my goodness, these guys are great.
Remarkably, Micah is already back at school. There we go! And reciprocating that support as his team pushes towards the ultimate prize.
And for me to see, hey, Micah's smiling every day, and you know what? It's like, hey, I can do this. We can do this. This guy's battling. We can do this.
The Crusaders are nearing their goal, 3 wins away from a state title.
There we go!
And if they execute the game plan, rebounding and fighting, just like their teammate, the most meaningful of titles might just belong to the boys from Colburn.
It would be really cool just to see that their hard work's paying off and that they deserve it, what they've done for me.
It would be amazing. And it would be probably, we've won before, but this would be extra special.